Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at pages 16 and 17 in your lesson book. And it's kind of funny that this is on page 16 because as you can see, we are learning about 16th notes. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but I thought that was kind of neat. So if you look up in the yellow box at the top of page 16, the first thing you'll see on the left there, it says 16th notes. 4 16th notes equal 1 beat. So you can fit 4 16th notes into the space that 1 quarter note would normally take up. And they've also written underneath the 16th notes the syllables that we use to count them. So for a 16th note, we say 1, E, and that's going to be important in a minute as we practice counting some of these things. So looking at number 67, the rhythm rap, we're going to practice counting this, and then we're going to play it together on an open string. So we have, you see under the first set of 16th notes, 1 E and then 2 eighth notes, 2 and. And actually, I don't know if they've done this in your book. They actually made a mistake in my book. They put 3 E and over under the next set of 16th notes, but that's actually a new measure. There's only 2 beats in every measure here. So they actually made a mistake in this book. So we're just going to count it the correct way. So from the beginning, it would be 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 rest. And you'll find that when you're playing these quick notes like 16th notes, quarter notes start to sound very long, right? We're used to quarter notes being one of the quickest things we play. But when you start adding 16th notes to the mix, the quarter notes actually are a little longer than you might think. So when you play 16th notes, you almost always want to do them in the middle of the bow. You're going to have a really tough time doing them at the frog or at the tip. So I'm going to set my bow right in the center here, and I'm going to play the rhythm rap but on my open D string. So ready, and here we go. One, two, and 1. Rest. Good. 68, like they do with these rhythm raps, 68 has different pitches, but it's the same rhythm. So we already know that rhythm, and we can check out the pitches. They've been pretty nice about this. Every set of 16th notes has the same note. So you can see the first 4 16th notes are all Ds. D, 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 D. Then E, E for the 8th notes. Then the next set of 16th notes, F, 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 F. And E, E, F, 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 E, E, D. This shouldn't be too bad at all. So set your bow down, get your fingers on your left hand ready. Here's number 68. Ready, and here we go. Rest. Nice job. Okay, moving on here. You don't have to turn your page, but I have to real quick here. Number 69. You can probably tell by looking at this that this is a specific pattern that we've played before. You might recognize this pattern as a backwards scale. So we're starting on that first note, high D, and we're going high D, C sharp, B, A, backwards, all the way down the D major scale. This one we should be able to read pretty easily as well. So let's do this together. Set down your fingers for high D. Ready, and here we go. Nice. For number 70, let's break this down into groups of 2 measures just to make sure we have a chance to practice these and really make sure we get all of these notes perfectly. Okay, so you can see the first measure has 2 sets of 16th notes. So there's a total of 8 16th notes in the first measure. The first 4 are F sharps. The next 4 are Ds. And then if we go to measure 2, we have quarter notes. And the first one is an A, that's 1 finger on the G string. And the second one is a D, open D. You remember I said that those quarter notes are going to feel very, very slow compared to the 16th notes. Let me play for you what the 2 measures will sound like. It's going to sound like this. As you're playing those quarter notes, you might be thinking 1 E and 2 E and thinking about fitting 4 of those 16th notes into each quarter note. Try the first 2 measures with me. Ready, and here we go. Good, let's do the next 2 measures. F, 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 D, 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 E, rest, okay? Here we go. Rest. Good, the next 2 measures, measures 5 and 6, F, 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 D, 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 G, B. Let's try that. Ready, here we go. Good, and the last 2 measures. And this is where something different happens. You see we have 4 A's, and then the next group of 16th notes is actually split between what notes you play. So you're going to go A, G, G, E, E, D. And you can do this with 16th notes. Every single one of those notes could be different. You might think about how we play 8th notes, and they're not always the same pitch, right? You might have an F sharp and then an A for an 8th note. And it's the same thing with 16th notes. Just because they're connected doesn't mean they're the same. They have to be the same pitch. So here are the last 2 measures. They sound like this. Good. And hopefully you're realizing that what's moving quickly is your right hand, your bowing arm. Your fingers on the left hand really aren't moving that quickly at all because you have a lot of repeated notes. You don't have to take your finger off in between every time. So let's try 70 all the way through together. Careful not to rush the quarter notes. That's where most people will make a mistake. All right, here we go. Ready, and here we go. Rest. Nice, very good. Hopefully that one was pretty fun for you. And let's keep going here. Okay, so now 71 is incorporating a lot of things we've done before. So it's not just the 16th notes. Now we have some 8th notes, quarter notes, and some slurs as well. And some rests in kind of weird places that we're really going to have to make sure we count. In fact, if you look, you'll see that every time there's a rest, it's on the first beat of the measure, which does not happen very often. Normally we have rests at the end of the measure. So this is really going to make us think here. So here's what we'll do. We're going to break this into little sections. You can see that the first group of 16th notes actually isn't in a measure at all. That's in the pickup. It's just one beat that's kind of before the first measure. But I'm going to start there, and this is what the first little bit of the song sounds like. Try that with me. Ready, and here we go. Good. Then we have a rest, and then we play something similar but with different pitches. Try that. Ready, here we go. Good. Then a rest, and then we have a lot of 8th notes. We're going to pick up from these 8th notes here. There's a down bow over them, and the first 2 are D's, open D. Ready, here we go. 2, then there's a rest, and then this is very similar to the beginning. We can play here together. It's actually the same as the beginning, except piano, so now it's soft. Rest, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did at the beginning here on the E. And a rest. And then this last run of 8 notes is different. This one is a little bit tricky, so make sure you watch your notes here. This is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3. So we hold that last note for 3 beats because it's a tie. right? So you add the values, the beat values of each of those notes. The half note is 2 beats, the quarter note is 1 beat, 2 plus 1 is 3. We hold that for 3 beats, and they feel like 3 very long beats because of the tempo we're going right now. Okay, let's play all the way through this together. We're going to set our fingers down for our F sharp. Okay, and here we go, right in the middle of the bow. Ready, and here we go. Rest. Rest. 1, 2, rest. 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 Nice job. I just realized, I think I said pages 16 and 17 at the beginning of the video. We were only going to go through 16. There's a lot to go through there and a lot to work on. So be practicing these, and we'll go over them together in your lesson.